Hey guys, this is Eric with Sidecar, and today we're going to talk about 5 ways to invoice your clients. We're going to talk about 2 different contexts when it comes to sending out the invoices. The first is when you are billing hourly after you've done the work, and the second is when you have a fixed price before the work begins. So when you're billing hourly, it's really common for you to send an invoice at the end of a month with just the hours that have been worked and the payment gets sent out. One way to consider changing that might strengthen the way that you've got cash flow set up is to do that bi-weekly. And you'll end up with smaller invoices, but you'll also have a more steady stream of income coming your way from however many clients you might have. So there's 2 different ways for the billing that I'd suggest, monthly or bi-weekly. Now, if you have a fixed price, I have a few other suggestions, things that you can try for the way you invoice. One might sound kind of crazy to some people, but it's basically invoicing 100% upfront. And if you have a fixed price, you can do that. But not all clients are going to be interested in that. So if you can't do that, then try going 50-50, but not 50 before and 50 at the end of the project. Sometimes the end of a project is kind of a tricky place to be, especially if you're working on a website and part of it involves content entry or the client actually launching the site. Where is the actual finish line? And you can define that in your project agreement and things like that. But when we talk about 50-50 payments, I'm talking about 50% before the work begins and then 50% maybe about halfway through. And that's a way that a lot of customers are familiar with paying for things and something that maybe you can try. So you've got 100% up front, you have 50 at the beginning, 50 maybe in the middle, and then there's a third way that really evens out cash flow. And if you have a fixed price, there's a chance you probably have a fixed timeline as well. So say you have a 5-month project. What I'd suggest is break that down into 6 equal payments, the first being a deposit. Before any work begins, you send the invoice, you receive the payment, and then for every month during the project, you just send another invoice at the end of the month. And that's a really nice way to even out your cash flow. Also might be nice for your client, for them to even out their cash flow as they're paying out each month. And that way, as you get to the end of that timeline, you've already lined up the payments to finish right when the project finishes. So 5 ways that you've got to send invoices out. Definitely not the only 5 out there, but 5 that you can easily try. If you're hourly billing, you can just do monthly. You can do bi-weekly. If you've got a fixed price, try billing it out 100% up front, or 50-50, and maybe even breaking it out in kind of an even sense across the whole timeline. So give it a shot, and stay tuned for more business videos and design videos by designers for designers at Sidecar.